everybody, welcome to Craig Duswalt's Rock Your Life TV series, where we interview amazing business leaders and innovative entrepreneurs. I am your guest host, Mr. Dean Cain, and I'm sitting here today with our very special guest, Miss Janie Lidey. I apologize,
That's
Janie.
okay.
Welcome. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Now, before we even get started, I didn't realize you were an Emmy, and you're an Emmy winner and a Grammy winner. Can we just jump out there real quick?
We can.
What did you win the Emmy and the Grammy for, real quick? I just have to know.
So I won the Emmy for songwriting.
Amazing.
And I won the Grammy for the program that I directed at the high school where I taught.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you don't do? That's craziness. That's amazing. I've been doing this for 100 years. I haven't won an Emmy or a Grammy, or I haven't even been nominated.
Maybe you'll be nominated for this segment right here.
I'm envious, and it's pretty fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, so please tell us a little bit about what you're here for today, what we're going to talk about.
Well, I am an inspirational speaker, author, singer-songwriter.
In addition to everything else.
Well, yes, and so we're here to talk about that, and I'm from Alaska. I live up there in my log home with my husband and our son and our yellow lab. So
I am fascinated with Alaska, and I really want to live up there. Or not live up there. I want to go visit.
Well, come visit.
Come. All right, so you're kind of a jack of all trades here. You kind of do a little bit of everything. Is it the speaking that's your favorite thing to do? What is it that you're really most passionate about?
Well, so I was a teacher for over 20 years, and I taught high school choir and guitar. And when I realized that I was empowering kids to, just lean into their gift, step into their greatness, be who they really wanted to be, that made me feel like I wanted to step out of, sort of the safety and comfort of one school and make the world my classroom, and inspire and lift up people on a global level. So that's what I did. I took a leap of faith and retired early with the blessing of my husband.
Which is
here
nice.
I am. Yes, very nice.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah.
I can remember certain teachers throughout my schooling that made a really strong effect on me. I mean, none so more than my own father, but and the lessons he taught me, and that's so valuable for young people.
Yeah.
Are you mostly working with younger people, or just anybody across the board?
I am working with anybody across the board because my message and my music works for 5-year-olds, and it works for 95-year-olds and everyone in between.
Pretty outstanding.
I'm trying.
I'm in between the 5 and 95, just so you know.
Yes,
okay?
yes. So we have to get my music into your life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see. What do we have here? We have.
This is it's called Leap of Faith: 8 Daily Habits to Power Up Your Leap. And because I'm a songwriter, and everybody kept saying, "Well, you're a really good storyteller too. Why don't you write a book?" And so I wrote the book, but then I was like, songs kind of related to the stories in the book. So I thought, well, maybe I'll do every chapter ends with a song that relates to the story in the chapter. So I've got my little Leap of Faith book and CD, and that way you can be inspired by the stories, but then you can have that CD in your car afterwards to keep being inspired.
All right, maybe you never saw this one, but do you remember I think it was the Brady Bunch? Way back in the day, one of the guys couldn't remember anything for math, so he sung the whole thing. Is that sort of similar to that?
Well, no.
Okay,
no. I mean,
just don't know.
but my songs are all about gratitude and love and kindness and compassion. One of the ladies that I was just visiting with in the other room, she said, "I cannot get your thank you song out of my head." She goes, "I wake up in the morning and that's what I sing." And she said, "I go to bed at night and that's in my head." So, they're catchy tunes, and they are songs with a message that I think matters in the world right now.
Well, thank you is a good one right up front, which I don't
Yes.
think people say nearly enough, not even close. And so your mindset going into this, is there anything sort of particular mindset? The leap of faith. Your other thing was thank you. I'm guessing there's a lot of positivity in what you're talking about.
Yeah, because and the reason why I wrote this particular book, it's my second, is I have these habits that I practice every day. And, they're things like dreaming big and acting as if, and, leaping with love, and laughing while you're crying, and living in gratitude, using your imagination. And they work for me, and people will go, why are you so lucky? Like, why does it seem like you're so blessed? And after thinking about that, I'm like, it's not luck. what it is it's that I practice these daily habits and I expect blessings and miracles. And when you do that, I think you bring them on. And I would love for other people to feel as lucky as I feel. So I thought, well, if I write this down and then I have the songs to inspire, I have to tell you.
That's a pretty good combination.
I have to tell you, my favorite testimonial came to me a couple months ago from a guy. He had seen me speak, and he bought my book and CD, and he said, I don't have road rage anymore. He said, I drive to and from LA every day. And he said,
that's a good place to get road rage.
Yeah. He said, I have your CD in my car. I never take it out. And he said, the other day, I literally had a guy on my tail. And he said, the road rage was coming. And he goes, I had my finger halfway up. I was going to flip him off. And he said,
he's going to tell him he was number one.
Yeah. But the thing was, my music was playing. And he goes, I literally got halfway up. And it turned into a peace sign. The guy saw me go from this to this, laughed with me, and he said, it fixed both of our days. So he said, I just leave it on all the time, and I never take it out. So
that's pretty outstanding.
Yes.
You were saying something about luck and creating your. Yeah, I do believe completely that people create their own luck. It's amazing, how the hardest working people seem to have the best luck. The luck favors the prepared. That sounds like a fantastic piece of advice. Now, are there a lot of people that you're competing with in this world? I mean, there are. There's the Tony Robbins type people who say positive things, and do positive things. And I've never been to a Tony Robbins seminar. A friend of mine recently has been, and I won't get into his story, Billy. I won't talk about it for you. Are there a lot of people that are competing in this world and this area, and what, if there are, what sets you apart from them?
There are a lot of people. I think there's a couple things. One is that I'm combining speaking with my songwriting and singing.
That is definitely unique.
Yeah, so it's a package, and then the authorship, of course, that helps too. But I have to tell you, when I retired early, my husband said, go to Nashville, honey. Just go there and act as if. And so I did. I brought my guitar, and I would just show up down on
Act
Music
as
Row.
if you belonged and owned it and did it.
I got my coffee, got my guitar, ready to write. And a producer invited me to Johnny Cash's mansion one day and introduced me to John Carter Cash, Wesley Orbison, and several other songwriters. And I got to co-write with them for 6 weeks, and I got to sing at Willie Nelson's 80th birthday party with this group of people. And I asked the producer, I said, there are all these people in Nashville, they're everywhere wanting this opportunity. Why me? And he said, well, and because you're asking about, how do you stand out? And he said, Janie, it's because you came to Nashville from Alaska with spirit, not ego. And you asked us, you said, how can I help? How can I collaborate? What can I do? Instead of saying, what can you do for me? And so I think that there's some beauty in that, and I learned that through teaching and through role modeling for my students, and I really do come from the heart. I mean, that's just I love love, and I just want to spread it, and thankfully God gave me music, to be able to share my message.
Come from spirit, not ego. That is, I'm writing that.
Oh,
I'm
good.
that one. That's a great piece of advice. That's unbelievable. That's an unbelievable piece of advice. Is there any advice that you have that someone else gave you, the as if or something like that sticks with you today, that's helped you achieve what you're achieving now?
Yes. So I would say Craig Duswalt.
Oh my gosh, Craig Duswalt.
I have to throw him
Rock
out
Your
there.
Life,
Oh my
Craig
gosh.
Duswalt's Rock Your Life TV series.
I have to give him the thumbs up. Always say yes, and always do your best. And my producer that I worked with in Nashville, always bring your guitar and show up like a rock star. So that's what I try to do.
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Before I get to the last part here, there's a little game we like to play here. It's called Rockstar Rapid Response. And I'll ask you a question and you fire back a one-word answer if you're willing to play.
Okay, I would love to play.
All right.
This is fun. Love games.
All right, good. There's about 11 questions.
Okay.
Just in case I want to throw a couple in there. How did you end up in Alaska? Real quick before I got there. Did you start there or did you...
I got offered a job in a very tiny fly-in-only village teaching 3-year-olds through 12th grade native kids. And instead of taking the safe, easy job in Seattle, I flew into this village.
You said yes, and I'll do it over there.
Yes.
I want to hear more about that, but we're running out of time. So I'm going to get to the Rockstar Rapid Response.
Okay, I can't wait.
Rockstar Rapid
Fun.
Response questions. Here we go. Your favorite band?
Pink Floyd.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
That tells me
Got
everything.
to see him too.
Your favorite song?
John Lennon's Imagine.
Ooh, switched artist there too. It's good. Favorite movie?
Invincible with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh wow!
If you haven't seen it, you got to. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh,
It's a good one.
morning or night person?
Both.
Outstanding. Okay. Where would you go if you were invisible? Keep it clean.
I would spend the day on Tony Robbins' stage.
No kidding.
I just would. Yes.
That's interesting because I mentioned him earlier.
I know
in the
you
thing,
did.
and I don't know
You
a whole
did.
lot about
So
him, so that's very interesting.
You probably put the bug in my ear to answer that way.
I did it. I moved you there.
Yes.
What's your favorite food?
Guacamole.
It's not really a food. I guess it is a food. Yes. Your biggest fear?
That I will get eaten by a bear in my woods behind my house.
That is a legitimate fear. That is
Yes.
for real legitimate.
Yeah.
What is there any particular word that you love?
Faith.
Any particular word you hate?
Hate.
Good, good, well said. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the cool, the best, how cool are you? Cool. How cool?
10?
I'm going to give you a 10. I think without a doubt you're a 10. And lastly, if you could explain yourself in one word, what would it be? What one word?
Love.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I hate that question myself because I couldn't answer it. And that's brilliant.
That's-
Okay, so if people want to get in touch with you and find out how to learn from you and go forward, what do they do? How do they reach you?
They go to janielidey.com and they can listen to samples of my music and read about my book and connect with me.
Janie Lidey, JANIELIDEY.com. She's amazing. She's a Renaissance woman, and you don't have to go to Alaska if you don't want to. We'll be right back after these messages.